This is Dakota Free Press with Sharon Stroschein, Democratic National Committee woman for the state of South Dakota. How are you today, Sharon?
I am just fine, Corey.
Sharon, you've told me that you are a superdelegate for South Dakota for the Democratic National Convention. Tell us how you got to be superdelegate.
Well, superdelegate is a bit of a misnomer. It's something that the press tagged us with. We would call ourselves unpledged delegates on the national level, but superdelegate has stuck for quite some time. A superdelegate is a state party officer in every state. It's your state chair, state vice chair, national committee man, national committee woman. And in the state of South Dakota, we have one distinguished leader, and that is Tom Daschle, because he was the Senate Majority Leader. So therefore, the state of South Dakota has 5 unpledged, or as they like to be known as, superdelegates.
And those unpledged delegates, do you 5 delegates, unpledged delegates, remain unpledged until convention? Can you declare? What are the conditions on that, your status of supporting a particular candidate?
Yes, we can remain uncommitted or we can declare. Now, 8 years ago when Obama and Hillary were running, I declared for Obama fairly early. But I could have went to the convention and not declared until I got there. We can do it at any time, or we can wait until the convention.
And you're free to do that based on your conscience, your feeling of who'd be the best candidate.
And in many instances, you wait to see what the state of South Dakota does, and then you tend to support the one that the people of South Dakota support. But you don't have to, but that's what you often do.
Sure. And as I understand it this year, it sounds like you still haven't committed this time to one candidate or the other.
No, I have not. I like both candidates a lot. I would say I'm leaning toward Hillary, but I haven't pledged to Hillary. I like Bernie's message a lot, but I will pledge, of course, before I go to the convention. I'm sort of waiting for the June primary to happen.
Sure. Do you have a sense of how the state feels? Do you have a sense of whether Hillary or Bernie have any particular advantages or disadvantages in our state?
As I travel about, I hear a lot more about Bernie than I do about Hillary. And I think Bernie has a real air of excitement about him. They try to portray him as sort of a disheveled curmudgeon, but that's far from it. He has something that the young people are drawn to, and as you can see here today, all the young people that came to support Bernie. And so I think Bernie's going to do very well in South Dakota.
Good. And whichever way the nomination goes, whichever way the primary goes in South Dakota, whichever way the nomination goes nationwide, do you think the Bernie supporters and the Hillary supporters here in South Dakota are going to be able to come together around our eventual nominee?
Yes, they will. We did it with Hillary and Obama, and we went right up to Election Day with that situation. So we'll do it again because Democrats are much more civil in their elections than what we're seeing on the other side. So it will be okay. We will come with a nominee, and I believe that the other candidate will support the winner.
Very good. And our final question, a trick question for the Democratic National Committee woman: which Republican would you like to see the opposing party nominate to run against us this year?
I've given that some thought, Corey, and at first I thought I wanted it to be Trump, but now he's getting so scary that it may be better for her to run against Cruz. And I say that because he's so rigid, and he's a Tea Party favorite. So
that Cruz is.
Cruz is,
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on record for a lot of very right-wing issues. So I would want it to be one of them too, and at the moment I'm almost wishing maybe that Hillary would run against Cruz, but Trump would have its own interesting campaign as well.
Very good. Sharon Stroschein, Democratic National Committeewoman for South Dakota and unpledged delegate, known improperly in the press as a superdelegate, though we
Right.
all think she's super. Sharon, thanks for taking time to talk to Dakota Free Press.
You bet. My pleasure.